look. Look, yeah, we're gonna film a book haul. Oh, you're getting your nose juices all over my books, aren't you? Mwah. I love you. I love you so much. I love you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm filming a book haul. I have two large stacks of books here. It's kind of a mixture of literary fiction. Well, it's mostly literary fiction, actually. And then I have a couple, like, transgressive fiction, a couple thrillers, horror, that sort of thing. Just a mixture of some things that I've accumulated since my last haul a few months ago. Some people have sent me some books, so I have a stack here, and you know, I always like to show those and say thank you. I'm having a hair crisis. I am getting my hair cut in a few days, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get all of this chopped off. Right here, like the crown of my head needs to go. Like this all needs to be layered and bangs, and I literally just feel like shaving my head right now. Anyways, we're not gonna pay attention to that. We're gonna talk about books. So I have two stacks of books here. I'm gonna go in no particular order. We're just gonna start going through these. So first I have Better by Far by Hazel Hayes. I just read this book. It was in a vlog on my Patreon. Also, you'll hear me talk about this in my wrap up. This is literary fiction. It's a woman and a man. They are in their 30s. They're going through a breakup. They live together and they have this arrangement where like she stays at their apartment 1 week and then he stays there the next week. So they never actually like live together, even though they live together, if that makes sense. And it seems like this would be like a sad kind of breakup book, and it is sad, but it goes so much deeper into that. It's more so about grief and grieving, you know, like the loss of her mother and grieving this relationship. And it really deep dives into grief and like existential dread, and like it is philosophical. It gets very deep. I really enjoyed this one. Then Perfume and Pain by Anna Dorn. I have a couple Anna Dorns in this haul, but this one I also just read for that same Patreon blog. And this one is about this woman, Astrid. She is a writer who gets canceled based on something stupid she says in a Barnes & Noble. And basically, she is in this like Sapphic Scribes writers group that she starts on Zoom, and she's a lesbian and she becomes like infatuated with this other woman in the writing group. So you're following her and like her obsession with this woman, and then there's this, she gets a new neighbor and you're following that storyline. Her neighbor's a little wild, and it's really more so just like drama. It's like drama, unhinged woman. She's like drinking and popping pills all the time. Like she's doing wild things, like self-sabotaging. I really enjoyed this main character. You'll hear me talk more about it in my wrap up, but I do like Exalted more, but I still really enjoyed this one. Oh no, we have the squeaky ball coming out. Oh, it's not time for that. Oh, you just slobbered everywhere. Thank you. That's disgusting. That is so full of slobber. Oh my God. Sit. Thank you. Okay. Oh my God, this dog. I can't. Next. This thriller that I got from Aardvark Book Club, The Unraveling by Vi Keeland. Oh my God, this is one of the worst thrillers I've ever read in my life. It was so bad. It was like 50 Shades of Grey mixed with like You by Carolyn Kepnes. It was so bad. It was so bad. This woman, I'm so sick and tired of the dumb woman trope. I filmed an entire vlog where this one is featured. Snow, you better not poop in the living room. You better not do it. I might have to pause this video and take her out. But, this is just so bad. I have a vlog that's going up. It was already up if you're watching this video, and then I'll talk more about it in my wrap up. I gave this book 1 star. One of the worst thrillers I've ever read. We got another squeaky ball now. Then I got a couple books here. This one, Dead Animals. This is my current read by Phoebe Stooks. Dukes, whatever. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at last names, but I just purchased this one. I'm reading it now. It's a little novella. It's about a woman who was assaulted by a man and doesn't really remember exactly what happened, and her memories are slowly coming back to her. But she also runs into this woman, Helen, who is also a victim of this man, and she kind of becomes infatuated and obsessed with Helen. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Eileen by Oteza Moshfegh so far. I don't know, we'll see. I'm about halfway, so I'll obviously let you know in my wrap up how I felt about this one. Oh, this one is only available in the UK, by the way. I got this from Blackwell's online. Woo! Okay, I'm back. I guess potty time was early today, and I made myself some matcha, so we're gonna continue with the haul. Okay, so there were a couple books that I got off Pango, the first one being Monstrilio. I think I'm like the last person on earth to read this, but this is like general horror, but with heart, with feeling, with emotion, from what I've been told. So this is about this woman whose son dies, and she carves out a small piece of his lung to save for herself, and she like nurtures it, and I don't know, now it's like turning into a monster. I don't know, it's like grief horror, which I typically really love, so I'm gonna give this one a go. And then I picked up Sunburn by Chloe Michelle Howarth. I've heard great things about this one. This is like a coming of age story, I believe. It's about these two girls. So it's set in the 90s. It's about this 15-year-old named Lucy. She feels out of place. She doesn't really want to like get married and have kids like everyone else wants to in the future. And she's trying to like make sense of herself. And she becomes friends with this girl named Susanna, and she becomes infatuated and in love with her. But the problem is she lives in like this small conservative town, and you know, being gay is frowned upon, so she tries to like hide this, and she's very insecure. Yeah, so it's just like a coming of age story. I've heard really great things about this one from all like the sad girl lit fic girlies out there, so we'll see. And then I got Out of Love by Hazel Hayes. Now Jan here on YouTube, Jan Agaton, recommended both of these books to me, and I really like this one, so I picked up this one on Pango as well. This one's chunky. Geez, 400 pages. I don't even know what it's about. I was just like, give it to me, give it to me. It's kind of like it's like a lit fic romance, I believe. Listen, I don't know who I am anymore. Just, I'm scared. I'm scaring myself. I heard a lot of people like this one more than they like Better by Far, so I'm very curious. It's about a young woman. She packs up her ex-boyfriend's belongings or prepares to see him one last time. She wonders when they fell out of love and like where things went wrong. She can't help but ask herself, is love really worth it? These questions we obsess over when a relationship ends, even when the obsessing can do no good. But instead of moving forward, she's like moving back in time, weaving together an already unraveled tapestry from tragic ending to magical first kiss. I don't know. I felt like this book was very philosophical, and I am hoping this one is kind of the same way, because I am someone that, you know, thinks very deeply and like ponders and obsesses and typical Scorpio shit. And I don't know, her writing is up my alley, so I can't wait to check this one out. And then, speaking of, you know, I'm obsessed with Anna Dorn. Thank God the air stopped. That was probably so loud in the background. This video is a fucking mess. I realized there are 2 Anna Dorn books that I still have yet to read. There is another one at the bottom of this pile, but this one is nonfiction. It's called Bad Lawyer. This is her memoir. She went to law school, and this is like about her going into law school and how she's like a lazy lawyer. Now, I just bought it because I'm obsessed with Anna Dorn, and I'm sure it'll probably be entertaining. I just really, really like the way that she writes, and she's just all vibes, good time, good vibes. And I got this one from Aardvark Book Club as well. This is Whoever You Are, Honey by Olivia Gatwood. This is like lit-fic thriller vibes, I believe. This woman and her elderly roommate. And then this couple moves in next door, and the man is a renowned tech founder, and she is his perfect girlfriend. But she has secrets. She feels uneasy about her oddly spotty memory and is growing increasingly wary of the way he controls their relationship. It says it dissects relationships between women and examines how striving for perfection plays out in spaces where technology and power intersect. I mean, this sounds very interesting. This sounds up my alley, like the whole exploration of like social media and like the pressure to be perfect and look a certain way and act a certain way, and like this author might be onto something. We'll see. Then I picked up, Amazon was having a couple of like buy two get one frees or whatever. I picked up this nonfiction book, Pain and Prejudice, How the Medical System Ignores Women and What We Can Do About It. This has been on my TBR for forever. You guys know I suffer with endometriosis and a slew of health conditions that primarily affect women. So I have been like collecting these books for forever, and I slowly make my way through them, and how the medical system gaslights women and like how women's health is a fucking joke. So I'm really excited to read this one, let you guys know if it's worth picking up. It sounds similar to Bleed by Tracy Lindman, which I absolutely am obsessed with. So yeah. Then I got 2 Taylor Jenkins Reid books, and I blame the girlies on my Patreon for this because I was like, I need Sad Girl book racks, and they were like, we love Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I was like, okay, I'll give her a go. So I got One True Loves and Forever Interrupted. Specifically, I believe it was Eve on my Patreon told me that this one is really sad and recommended this to me, and I trust her. So this couple that elopes, and 9 days later he's out riding his bike and is hit by a truck and is killed, and then she's trying to like process this grief and just meeting her mother-in-law for the first time, who doesn't know that she exists, and that whole like grief in books really gets me. So yeah, this one sounds fucked up. And then this one, it sounds kind of similar, I think, from what I remember. This woman marries her high school sweetheart. They travel the world together. They literally are traveling the world together. That's my favorite saying, and they're doing it. I'm jealous. On their wedding anniversary, he is on an assignment. I don't know if he's in the military or what, but his helicopter goes missing and he's gone forever. So again, it's that whole like grief aspect and trying to find love again, and going through a second chance at marriage. And I don't know, both of these have that like grief aspect that if I'm in the right mood, these will get me for sure. Then I picked up The Stepford Wives by Ira Levin. Never read this guy. I don't really know what this is about. It's like this woman and her husband and children move to Stepford, and there's like secrets in the town. I literally know nothing about this. I bought it for Elizabeth from Reading Riley's book club. So Everything You Ever Wanted by I'm so bad with names. I don't know. Beautiful, beautiful, stunning cover. Someone on Instagram told me I absolutely need to read this, and it's like lit fic sci-fi, I believe. So this is about, it says you wake up, you go to work, you have strategy meetings about how to use hashtags. After work, you get so blackout drunk you can't remember the circumstances that have led you to waking up next to your colleague. The next day, you stay in bed scrolling through your social media feeds and wondering why everyone else seems to be achieving so much. So fucking relatable, right? Social media sucks. When you hear about life on Nyx, a program that offers the chance to move to another planet and start a new, meaningful way of life. But there's a caveat. If you go, you can never come back. Ah! Sounds so good. Amazing. Love that. I'm so intrigued by that book. Next is our Patreon Sad Girls Book Club pick for August. So I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. This was our book club pick. You guys voted. And well, if you're in my snow tier on Patreon, you voted. Patreon is always in my description box down below. Shameless self-promo. But yeah, we will be discussing this live at the end of the month. So if anyone wants to read along, feel free. But this is about 39 women who are kept underground in a cage. Okay, isolated in this cage. And above ground, there's this whole world, like, they don't know what's going on. They're like, have we been abandoned? Who did this to us? Like, what's happening? They're watched over by guards. The women have no memory of how they got there, no notion of time, and vague recollections of their lives before that. It says a young girl, the 40th prisoner, sits alone and is an outcast in the corner. Soon she will show herself to be the key to the others' escape and survival in a strange world that awaits them above ground. The women who will never know men. Oh, good. A lot of people told me that this is very deep. Like, it's short. It's 188 pages, but it packs a punch. I heard it's almost like a smart person, kind of intellectual literary fiction book, has a lot of commentary. I think this will be great for our live show discussion. I can't wait to read this, take notes, and really dive into like what other people think. I think this will be a great discussion, so I'm really, really looking forward to this one. I picked up this book here, The End of Loneliness. It just looks like a sad girl book, right? It kind of reminds me of like Acts of Desperation, it looks like. So I'm so intrigued by this. Okay, so this book, we're following this guy. So as a kid, in his childhood, he suffers with the sudden loss of his parents. So he is enrolled in boarding school. Him and his siblings are forced to live apart, and life just sucks. He retreats inward, and then he meets this girl, Alva. And it says she's a kindred soul caught in her own grief. 15 years pass, and the siblings remain strangers to one another, bound by tragedy and struggling to recover the family they once were. So now Jules is, you know, in present day, eager to meet back up with Alva, who kind of just like abandoned their friendship. And now it says whether fate or chance, their lives intervene. So yeah, this sounds sad. I can't wait to cry reading all these books. That's wonderful. Then I picked up from Book of the Month. I didn't realize that this book was so fucking huge. Like, this scares me, but I've heard nothing but great things. It's like a lit fic mystery thriller, I believe. Not really thriller. It's like slow burn mystery. So this is about a teenager that vanishes from a summer camp. And it takes place in 1975. So this camp counselor discovers an empty bunk, and this girl has gone missing. She's 13 years old. Everyone's like going on an investigation, on a search, and it says the drama unfolds. I love drama. I am the drama. I don't really know much else. I don't really want to know much else, but people say that they just got absolutely sucked into how beautiful this writing was and this like slow burn mystery and how you really get invested in what's going on. So I've literally heard nothing but amazing things about this one. Then, my other Anna Dorn here, I picked up Vagabond, and this one is, this might be like one of her, this might be her first book, actually, other than that nonfiction, I think. I don't know, but I found this one used. It's about pop culture, and, you know, she's from LA, she writes a lot of LA books, but it's about a 30-year-old attorney, and she wants to become a rap artist. She's introduced to a music producer who is manic and unpredictable. They instantly vibe. She's coming off her psych meds. I don't know what this is about, but if it's Anna Dorn, I'm gonna love it. Like, she is just unhinged, hilarious. Her books literally make me cackle, which never happens ever. So I just blindly trust her at this point. Another person I blindly trust is Bret Easton Ellis. I have two that I got from Amazon here. Actually, one of these I got from a bookstore, the other I got from Amazon. Anyways, The Informers and The Rules of Attraction. Sorry, I was just interrupted again by a phone call. The world just does not want me to film this haul today. But yeah, The Informers, I believe, is like same town, same vibes as Less Than Zero, which I really enjoyed. And then this one is about this like liberal arts college. No, I trust Bret Easton Ellis and his unhinged nihilistic characters, and I love him so much. As Young as This by Roxy Dunn. So this is about this woman like kind of going back from the time that she was a teenager until now and reminiscing on all of her relationships and men in her lives, and now she's 34, she's single, like she's about to make a big decision, it says. I don't know, it's just like her reminiscing on men, and I don't know, I seem to like books like this, so we'll see how that one goes. That one was from Blackwell's as well. Some of these are from the UK. And then these I got at a used bookstore, Chasing the Boogeyman by Richard Chismar. I never read this one. It's kind of like, it's horror, but it's set up like true crime, I think. I have no idea. There's a little bit of mixed media in here, and it's set in the 80s. The mutilated bodies of several missing girls begin to turn up in a Maryland town, and there's a serial killer on the loose. It's like an investigative thing. We'll see. I'm like the only person that hasn't read that one. And then I got this thriller, Temper by Lainey Fargo. I really liked They Never Learn by her, and this one, I don't even know what this is about. It's about this actress. She used to work with this director who's known for pushing his performers past their limits on stage and off. I don't know if this is another kind of unhinged woman sort of book. I have no idea. I've heard mixed things though. Then I'm going to move into books that were sent to me by people. So especially when I had my surgery, I was like really going through it. So some people sent me some books, and like, thank you so much. I love you guys so much. You don't have to do that. Some people sent me more than one book, like multiple books. Some people just sent me one. Like, I'm just gonna go through. But if you are someone that sent me one of these or any of these, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Like, you guys literally mean the world to me. You know that. Like, I literally cry sometimes over how nice to me you guys are, and I truly appreciate it. Like, no one has to buy me anything, no one has to give me money. I just like appreciate it if you go out of your way and like just show me that you care in any way. But yeah, thank you so much. First of all, these two here are from the publisher. They're both nonfiction. Docile. This one is about, it's a memoir about a not-so-perfect Asian girl. It's about this girl from Korea. Her parents are, you know, immigrants, and it's just this story about their family. It's about her family and, like, growing up, you know, being an immigrant and the struggles that come along with that. But also it talks about her mental health and being in a psychiatric hospital and dealing with her depression, and like, I fucking love memoirs like that, so I'm so excited about this one. And then this one was also sent to me, There Is No Ethan by Anna Akbari. So this is another nonfiction about how these women caught America's biggest catfish, it says. So there was this guy like catfishing tons and tons and tons of women. I don't know if it says exactly, but these three women like caught him, and this sounds so intriguing. It's like true crime. I love this. I was obsessed with the show Catfish on MTV. Neve, is this you? I don't know, I eat that shit up, so I'm really excited for this one. Then things from some authors. A.W. Mason sent me a signed copy of Judy Martin's Final Curtain Call. So now this is my second copy. I love it. I love this book so much, and A.W. Mason is just such a sweet person. So definitely go support if you can. Love it. Christopher Triana sent me Because You're Mine. I read this for a vlog. Also read this one for a vlog. But yeah, both of these are up on my channel somewhere, and I really enjoyed both of them. Oh, this one is Unhinged Woman, by the way. This is extreme horror, dark romance, serial killers falling in love. Love that. Judith Sonnet sent me a couple of her books. Shriekorama, Spook Show Experience. I already read this in a video. I really enjoyed this one. It's like this old-timey kind of feel to it. This boy goes to a cinema to see a spook show, and like really freaky stuff starts happening in real life. That one's more like general horror. There's like one scene in there that's really graphic, but that's about it. Beast of Burden, I've read in the past. I really enjoyed this one as well. It's about a metal band. It's like a coming of age story, but with some splatter aspects at the end. I really enjoyed the overall vibe and character development of this one. And then Low Blasphemy, which I heard is wild. She's kind of a thick girl. I still have yet to read this one. I wanted to try to read it in July. I never got to it. But this is about, it says, Reese's life derailed when her mother killed her father. Now she lives in a farm in Missouri with her aunt and her cousin, who treat her as one of their own. Reese thinks her mother's violence is behind her, but she's unaware of the cult that has moved into the woods beside the farm. So, cults, psychopaths, demon gods, wild shit, wacky wild shit. I don't know. We'll see how this one is. And then some books that were sent to me by you guys. I have I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie Sue. This one is a like lit fic with some humor in it. This is an office comedy. It's basically about me. I always joke that I am the office comedian because I am always like saying unhinged shit in Teams and like messaging people crazy shit. I'm always racking up the laugh reacts, and then I'm like, yeah, I did that. So anyways, but this is about this girl who, like, her job sucks, right? She's irritated. So she vents her grievances in a petty email postscripts and then changes the text color to white so no one can see. That is until one of her secret messages is exposed. I don't know. She's like drawn into her coworkers' lives. They're all keeping secrets. I don't know. It seems like a fun time. I've heard really great things about this one. And then Three Women by Lisa Taddeo. I'm obsessed with Animal by Lisa Taddeo, so I can't wait to read this guy. This is about three women, obviously. So one is a young mother in suburban Indiana whose marriage has lost its passion. She embarks on an affair. Maggie is 17 years old in high school. She engages in a relationship with her married English teacher. And then there's another woman, Sloane, who is happily married to a man who likes to watch her have sex with other men and women. I absolutely loved Animal so much. I love the writing in this one, so I'm assuming this one will be the same way, and they will all be like interconnected and have meaning. So I'm really looking forward to this one a lot. Then I have two thrillers here. I read this one for a video, I Can Be a Better You by Taryn Fisher. This is like Unhinged Woman, Bitch I'm Gonna Steal Your Life type of thriller. I enjoyed this one. It wasn't like a masterpiece or anything, but I liked it. And then I have Mudvayne by Taryn Fisher. This is about this novelist who wakes up on her 33rd birthday, caged behind an electrical fence, locked in a house in the middle of the snow, and is left to decode the clues to find out why she was taken. This sounds so good. Her kidnapper is nowhere to be found. This sounds so up my alley. I'm really intrigued by this one, and I cannot wait to dive in. This sounds fucking wild. Dead 11 by Jimmy Giuliano. This one's kind of thick for a horror book. This is general horror. This is about an island. So Willow finds these 3 words on the floor of her deceased son's bedroom. And she's never heard of it before, but she soon learns it's a tiny island 200 miles away from her home. Why would her son write this on his floor? Hoping to find answers, she goes to the island. And then she realizes the place is not quite right. Everyone seems to be stuck in 1994. They wear outdated clothing. They avoid modern technology. Like, things are just weird, right? And then this high schooler has lived on the island her entire life. She's sick of the island's twisted mythology and adhering to the rules. She's been to the mainland and everyone is normal there. So why is Clifford so weird? I don't know. Willow disappears. I don't know. This is just about this creepy island. It sounds intriguing. I've heard good things. I have another Bret Easton Ellis here, Glamorama. So this one I heard is like his funniest book, I think. It's set in the 90s in Manhattan. Victor is a model with perfect abs, and he's seen and photographed everywhere, even in places he hasn't been, with people he doesn't know. He's living with a beautiful model, having an affair with another one. He's, you know, opening a trendy nightclub. Shows us the shadowy looking glass reality, and, you know, it's full satire like all of his other books. I love his writing. I eat the shit up, so I can't wait to read that one. Then I have Mrs. March by Virginia Feet. Oh, Chris is gonna make fun of me watching this. This is, people tell me that this is a better version of My Husband by Vaude Ventura. Is that the author's name? This is about this guy, George March. His latest novel is a smash. No one can be prouder than his wife, Mrs. March. One morning, the shopkeeper suggests that her husband's latest protagonist is based on Mrs. March herself. So now she starts like spiraling. Is he trying to humiliate me? Like, she's just an unhinged woman, and I'm already obsessed with this. I don't even need to know more. I'm obsessed. Then there are 3 books here from my friend Chris that I'm using for a vlog. The first one is Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. This is a very heartfelt book about grief and trauma, I believe. So it's like it's YA, but from what I understand, reads a lot better than YA. So this is about this girl, Mila. She's used to being alone. She's living in this remote place. She newly graduated high school, and she's aged out of the foster care system, and she's staying at a farm in this isolated part of California, and she hopes to find a new home, a real home. The farm is haunted by wounds, and its young residents have come there to escape. I believe there's like this boy that she's in love with, and like, I don't know, I forget what Chris said. I have zero memory. But it's supposed to be like a very emotional read, sad girl read. Then The Vegetarian by Han Kang. This is about this woman and her husband. They live an ordinary, controlled life, but the dreams, invasive images of blood and brutality torture her. They drive her to pursue her mind and renounce eating meat altogether. It's a small act of independence, but it interrupts her marriage and sets her into motion. A grotesque chain of events at home. Her husband, brother-in-law, and sister fight to reassert their control. She obsessively defends the choice that's become sacred to her. Soon their attempts turn desperate, subjecting first her mind and then her body to ever more intrusive and perversive violations, sending her into, this is just a whole bunch of blah, 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 blah words. I believe that this is like really fucked up. Like really, I don't know, just a fucked up time. But I think that this is like the first book that was translated. It's like the first work of translated Asian fiction. I forget what Chris told me, but this kind of is the stepping stone that led to more Asian books being translated in English, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure he will correct me if I'm wrong. And then The Collected Regrets of Clover by Mickey Brommer. This is a book about grief. Clover has felt a stronger connection with the dying than she has the living. After her beloved grandfather who raised her dies alone when she's traveling, she becomes a death doula, dedicating her life to ushering people peacefully through their end-of-life process. I love that. I love the topic of death and dying, so this sounds so up my alley. Then I have just a couple more here. Green Dot by Madeline Gray, about a girl who like falls in love with her middle-aged colleague journalist, and she finds herself falling into an all-consuming affair with him. She's coming apart with want and loving every second of it, well, except for the tiny hiccup that Arthur has a wife, and she has no idea that our main character exists. So this is like, it's supposed to be funny, lighthearted, but like romance, and I have no idea. Coming into adulthood, we'll see. I have no idea. Perfume by Patrick Susskind, whatever. Okay. 18th century Paris, a baby is born. Jean-Baptiste clings to life with an iron will, growing into a dark and sinister young man who, although he has no scent of his own, possesses an incomparable sense of smell. He like is a perfumer and quickly masters the ancient art of mixing flowers, herbs, and oils. He is on a quest to create the ultimate perfume, which leads him to commit a series of brutal murders until no woman can feel safe as his final horrifying secret is revealed. This sounds wild. I've heard amazing things about this one. So many people love this book. Next is a memoir. This is another nonfiction, Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Someone told me that I need to read this. I don't know why, because then I was reading the cover and I was like, oh, is this mommy drama? I don't like mommy drama, so I'm like, is this? I don't know. I don't know. It's supposed to be like empowering for women. She decided to quit abandoning herself and to instead abandon the world's expectations of her. It's like women, female empowerment sort of thing, like being unhinged. Do you, girlfriend, whatever. I'm so tired. You can tell I'm like getting exhausted from filming. I have 2 more books here. This was a McKay recommendation, Lost Girls and Love Hotels by Catherine Hanrahan. So this is about a woman, Margaret. She's living Tokyo's exotic nightlife, you know, being intoxicated, pornography, 3-hour love hotels, working as an English specialist at an Air Pro stewardess training institute. She loses herself in a sex and drug-addled oblivion by night, repressing memories of her painful childhood and her older brother Frank's descent into madness. Her nihilism is thrown off balance as she becomes increasingly haunted by images of a Western girl missing in Tokyo. Sounds wild. I trust McKay, so when he told me to read it, I was like, okay, I put it on my list. And then last but not least, I have Big Swiss by Jen Began. This is a little unhinged. I listened to part of it on audio before on Spotify, and then it was like, you ran out of credits for the month. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. So this is about this woman, Greta. She lives with her friend in this farmhouse, and she spends her day transcribing therapy sessions for this psychiatrist. He is a sex coach who calls himself Ohm. Becomes infatuated with his newest client that she calls Big Swiss. And she loves her like attitude on trauma, her dark history. Of course, she just becomes like obsessed and unhinged, and I don't really know much else, but this one seems promising, and I see this book everywhere and I've heard a lot of great things. So yeah, that is it for my haul. So thank you. If you are someone that sent me one of these books, I appreciate you so much. And thank you if you recommended any of these books to me. Like, I'm constantly putting things on my list that you guys recommend to me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I love you, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!